Hey friends, welcome to the series overview for this August. This month we're going to be journeying through a new series called Going Places, where we're going to be talking all about friendship. When we think about it, our friends are like the most important people in our lives, and they know the best about us. But friendship is a lot more than just hanging out with some people. It's about building friendships that last, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that this whole month. So let's see what week 1 holds. I love road trips, especially when it's with a group of my really close friends. I love the playlists, the snacks, and just the different sights that we get to see along the way. And a road trip with friends is a good representation of friendships in general. Our friendship will probably go many different places together, but with so many different unique needs and perspectives, there could probably be moments along the way where it can get hard. So we need to start asking ourselves, how do we not get so focused on fulfilling our needs that we begin to miss seeing the needs of those around us? There's this one story in the Bible where Jesus was teaching a large crowd of people into the day, and his disciples started to worry about what would happen when these thousands of people suddenly get pretty hangry. So they started to listen and focus on Jesus, and he ended up providing food for everyone. And when we put Jesus at the center of our friendships, he will help us see the needs of those around us. And as we do this, over time, we begin to become more and more like him, somebody who knows that friends don't miss a chance to take care of each other. Now, let's talk about week 2. If you've been on a road trip, you know that a good game can help pass the time. The problem is when it starts to get a little bit competitive. Friendships are a lot like road trip games. They're awesome when they're fun, but when it starts to get challenging, we may want to back up a little bit. But that's kind of a bummer because good friends challenge each other to become who God has called them to be. And there's this really wild story in the Bible where Jesus walked on water to his friends in the middle of a storm. I know, so wild. But then Jesus ended up challenging his friend Peter to walk on water as well, which he did, by the way. But when Peter started to get a little bit nervous about the storm and realizing that he was right in the middle of a storm walking on water, Jesus challenged him again, but this time with a question. And it wasn't meant to be mean or judgmental, it was just honest and direct. And Jesus wanted Peter to see what was possible when he relied on him. When we challenge each other to trust Jesus, even when things are difficult, our friendships can grow even stronger because our friends aren't afraid to challenge each other. Now, let's check out week 3. I'm not exaggerating when I say that road trips can be made or broken based off a playlist. If you think you and your friends are getting along now, just wait until it's time for you guys to go on a road trip and half of the car wants Harry Styles music and the other half wants Taylor Swift. I don't know, but friendships most likely won't split over differences like that. But what about other things like what we believe about who God is? That's definitely a possibility. How can we prevent this from really happening? At the end of his life, Jesus prayed for his followers to overcome every single division. And in his prayer, he asked that in the same way that he and God were one, everyone would be enveloped in the same holy togetherness. And he prayed for unity, made possible by God's presence in the lives of his followers. And this allowed us to appreciate differences, whether that be different backgrounds or even different opinions. We don't have to look and sound the same, but God's Spirit helps us see that friends don't let differences divide them. Okay, let's wrap it up with week 4. In today's world, there's a lot of division. Many of us may feel anxious about talking about our beliefs that are important to us, or maybe even big questions or doubts that we may be struggling with. And maybe you want to talk to your friends about these things, but you're not really sure how they'll respond. So instead, you kind of just stay quiet and not bring it up. But when we think about it, how are we supposed to grow if we just keep our beliefs and questions to ourselves? We need the space for curiosity, for listening, and for learning, and opportunities for people who want the best for us to talk kindly and honestly about what we've come to believe. And Jesus did this all the time. He took his closest friends away and spent time resting. And one day he asked them, "Who do you believe that I am?" And Peter answered correctly that Jesus was the Messiah. And close friendships and your faith can grow when we talk about what we believe together. And we'll discover even the differences, but we can trust Jesus and courageously talk about what we believe with the people that we love. Because when we follow Jesus' example, we can see that friends aren't afraid to talk about what they believe. This is going to be such an awesome series, and I'm super excited for you guys to be joining us in person as we go more in depth about what we're learning. So I'll see you guys here at OneChurch on a Sunday at 10 a.m. See ya!